Hi everybody, this is Jack, and we've got a really great demonstration of the FuzzBubble-45 for you today. We're going to set up the Pete side, the crunch rhythm, and the Jimi side for distorted power chords. This is the setup that we're going to use. This is an old, very old Fender Bassman from around 1960-61 into an orange cabinet with greenback Celestians in it. The FuzzBubble is set up like this. We have the Pete and the Jimi side. Here's the output. The year is set to about 71. The input of the Jimi is turned down a little bit to give us a little bit more clean headroom. The output is set to taste to match the Pete side. And there's the haze knob, which is turned all the way down. We don't want a fuzz sound in this particular case. We want a really nice sound for heavy-duty distorted chords, power chords. So that's how you would set it up. The great thing about the FuzzBubble is you can get that really great sound at any volume. So that's how we have the output of the Pete set, roughly like around 11 o'clock, I'd say. And the Jimi is set to about 2 to balance out. And the guitar we're going to use today is this really beautiful Rickenbacker Pete Townshend limited edition guitar. It was made in 1987. Only 250 of these were made, and it's a beautiful guitar. It's got a fantastic chimey sound to it. So we're going to use that today to do this demonstration. Okay, let's take a look at how to set the FuzzBubble-45 up in what I call a 1-2-3 combination. The first one being, number one, is no FuzzBubble at all. We're going to bypass it. Then the second setting is going to be the Pete side set up to crunch, and the third setting is going to be the Jimi side, not set up to a big fuzz sound or full fuzz sound, but just to a more of a distorted sound, which is great for power chords. The song I'm going to use to demonstrate it is the Who's Pinball Wizard, because it just kind of encompasses all these different sounds. You have the clean intro that's kind of sparkly, then you get the really excited suspended chords, and then you get the big power chords. Now when you're in the studio, you have the luxury of overdubbing all of this, but when you're live, you kind of have to do all of this at once. So the way to do it is to actually have a pedal like this that allows you to go from one sound to another to another. So let's start off first, and let's just take a look, and we'll listen to the clean chords, the intro chords. Then we'll go to the suspended chords. Now, it's a nice sound because we have that Fender Bassman going on out there, but it doesn't kick it up a notch, as Emerald would say. We have to kind of push the guitar in this particular spot to make it a little bit more exciting. So what we do is at this point we would hit the Pete side and we would get this instead. Now, from here, you know the song, you go into the power chords. It's a good sound, but in this particular case, we still have to kick it up another notch. And in the studio, you would overdub a guitar like this, but in this case, we can't. So what we do is we set the Jimi up, the Jimi side, not for fuzz sound, for a heavy fuzz tone now. We set it for more of a crunch power chord distortion. So you would step on the Jimi side, and then you would kick in the chords like this. A lot better, a lot better. That's really the sound. Then to go back to the suspended chords, you would just step on the switch again. It would be, you know, obviously this would be on the floor, and then you would play the suspended chords all over again. Hit the switch. Then do the chorus. And if you notice, when I'm doing that, even the picking or the strumming, the light chords there. It actually even cleans up there a little bit, and you get a lot of really great note definition. It's not just a bunch of distorted chords, just mushy. You can actually get a lot of really great note definition, and you really hear the true sound of the guitar coming through. Then, of course, you would step back and you would play the suspended chords again, and so on. And then back to the distorted sound for the heavier chords. And again, here's the bypass signal. So you have the intro chords. That's really a perfect sound for it. Because now you're anticipating that step up. We're going to actually just move it up a little bit when we hit, go over that. So when we hit the Pete side, and we get that, you know, that exciting suspended chord sound. But you can hear the clarity again, and how when I lighten up, when I just soften up, back off on my touch, how you hear all that clarity in the notes. And that's the real key to this, is to get that clarity, because that's what the original record had, and a lot of these great guitar sounds have. It's not just a bunch of mushy distortion where there's no note definition. The FuzzBubble-45 has a tremendous amount of note definition. So you can see how we go from a bypass signal with the great sounding amp to a crunch rhythm to a really great power chord, distorted tone, all with one pedal.